way.
Alright, first round, GunJumping ScrubLords, NSF on the bottom floor. Do we see a recon on that team yet? Nope, we don't even see 5 players. And there we go, there's the 5th, no recon in sight. Whereas on the other team, they do have a recon on Jinrai, who's Deep Frog. As we were saying earlier, he's pretty fucking scary. And let's see if he goes for those vents straight away, or is he just going to go for a really aggressive push? And he messes up that movement completely.
Sure where he's going.
He hits the monitor and just has decided that he's messed up that run and gives up. He's going back to spawn, he's just going to stay there. And they have 1 AFK on their team? On Jinrai?
So.
Let's hide. I wonder what he's doing. However, let's see what's happening on the NSF team.
Sion has just got destroyed.
Yeah, Popeyes takes down Halcyon at the Ghost, I think. And yeah, NSF have taken that Ghost
NSF
control, but
have
not
been a lot more assertive with that Ghost control than Jinrai have.
I think that Ghost spawn is the closest cap on this map. Like,
yeah.
there's not much of a close cap scenario on Rise, because everything takes place on the middle floor, but that Ghost spawn zone is the closest to any sort of cap zone. It's directly below it, and they're heading up there now. Straight to the roof, 3v3. Will Jinrai get up in time to stop this cap from happening? And hides in position because he was AFK for the first minute of the round.
Deep Frog's gonna intercept. Oh, both of them are. Yeah, it's over.
He pushes and gets taken down, but yeah, Deep Frog gets 1 frag, and it's a pincer maneuver by Rake Bob and Deep Frog, and they take down almost promising first round for NSF. It looked like they were having a good time of nearly capping the Ghost, but it didn't happen. As expected, first round goes to Jinrai, which I'm a little disappointed. I was hoping they'd get the Ghost cap then with the NSF team, but
Are they going? Yeah, they've gone 3 supports, 2 assaults now.
Yep, they've abandoned the recon.
An interesting play.
Didn't seem to do an awful lot for them. Did the recon. I think Halcyon probably tried doing some info gathering, but he messed it up by not actually following through with his initial push.
He wasn't playing recon.
In his first round he was.
He was playing assault. It was Deep Frog that was playing recon.
Oh, Deep Frog was. But Deep Frog's playing support now.
Bumping into things.
Still bumping into things. And no conflict yet. With the Ghost spawning in the server room. The pretty much slap bang in the middle of Rise is the server room, and the heaviest choke point in the map for sure.
It's very questionable Deep Frog choosing to hold this angle with a shotgun.
I think it's questionable him
he
using shotgun in general.
To be honest.
And Rake Bob gets the first frag.
Glass isn't going to do him any favours.
No, I don't think support shotgun is the best idea.
I don't know.
Almighty Sheep taking some team damage there from his pal in construction. And the Jinrai now have the Ghost. Be getting the info who's calling for them. It is Deep Frog. His tiny French accent. Small, tiny French accent. And it's trade-off now between Jinrai and NSF. Jinrai 1 player up currently. And there's a huge firefight going on in one of the corridors. There's a support up in the vent who just caught Popeyes doing heavy damage to him and C's, who are both pretty low now. 3v3, but it's a massive health advantage in terms of the Jinrai team with 2 players really badly lit on NSF, C's and Popeyes, the captain. And Almighty Sheep also very injured.
I don't know why Porpoise would want to engage support. Oh, he's in the vents, he's not really going to be doing much for the time being.
Pretty severe hops going on right now. The sup hops.
Oh yeah. Always good to see.
The second round, was that a timeout? I believe that was a timeout. So not bad considering that the NSF team was so bad for health. That's not a bad result at all for them. They're only 1-0 up as the Jinrai team. The tie will work against them a little bit, but not too severely. And they got away with not giving them an extra point. And is this Globe as the NSF recon now with the MPN? It is. Will NSF tie it out this round? Halcyon also
See, I'm
support
going for
hopping.
the doing the crowd of those support hops all
The
the way through
stairs.
construction.
Yeah, the stairs certainly helping, and he's already on that ghost already, but Smile gets the first frog on D-Frog. Here come the really, really annoying binds by Pizza. I have no idea why he does it, but it's
Sion being
honestly
very,
one of the most annoying things.
very assertive with that ghost. Could get caught out if he's not careful. It's waltzing straight on in there.
He's scared of something, he's checking his corners really, really intently.
He walks into someone though. See as a support. He's got some backup now.
And Gloves around somewhere doing a little bit of damage. Almost killing Pizza, he just doesn't quite manage to connect all the shots with the MPN, a difficult to control gun. I wonder if that kickback was fully working.
Well, yeah, we got hot support on support
Seas
action
gets
through
the
that
double
smoke.
kill. Yeah, Seas with a pretty nice double kill. They thought they were safe when they got Globe, but Seas was hot on Globe's tail and managed to follow up, get the trade frags for both of the team players that he damaged. And now it's Rake Bob versus Seas. And I don't know much about Seas, but I think he can take this because, as I've already expressed, Rake Bob is really bad at this game. And he's also using a shotgun, so he might completely miss.
But it looks like Rake Bob's just gonna go for the timeout, and Caesars doesn't really seem to be intent on doing much about that.
It's not going to be a horribly bad thing for NSF to tie out, but they want to prevent it sort of getting
Want
a
to
bit
do
too
something.
tie heavy. It's still early days in this match, so he wants to do something though. He's near that ghost position.
He's not very sure. He's a bit in between. Not really doing something, but he's not being safe.
He could pick up the ghost in his position and not get pushed
Could.
too easily.
He
But
could have,
it's
but
too
he
late.
didn't take the initiative. He was being way too cautious.
I
That's the
would have
thing.
done
In
the
that
same thing in his
situation,
position.
you've got to kind of be all or nothing, I would say.
I
Can't
think I
waste
would have.
time. Like I would either sit in a corner, or I would actually go for just go for it. Not really waste the time.
He could have at least
died
found
there
out
and
where
not
he
ready
was,
for anything.
I suppose. Now Halcyon's picked up Recon, higher rank than Glub, so he's picked the Jeet Scopes, and I think they have a second Recon on that team, which is
Yeah,
Pizza, who's
Pizza.
gone with the SRM. And now Pizza pushing straight into the vents. I'm pretty sure the NSF team heard that and have sacked off the idea of going there themselves or in anywhere which could expose themselves to it.
Pizza really seems to be looking to just counterplay the vents. For the time
Which
being,
May not be fruitful considering none of the NSF
there's no
are
one there for him to counter.
gonna go,
So
but if he plays it like we saw Reimu play it, where he's just there with the immediate reaction time, but he's being too blatantly obvious of his
he drops
position in that
down, but
vent.
we've got 2 more people in those vents anyway. Being, you know, they're not being very subtle about it. They're kind of running around hoping someone walks into them.
Glub takes Hyde, who was holding the position at his team spawn, hoping to get someone on the drop down from that roof. Not always a good decision considering you can get peeked from loads of different angles from above, not just get pushed.
Very questionable vent play right now. Kind of just jumping around in the vents, not really sure what they're doing with them.
we saw Reimu Hakurai playing these vents for Renraku in a much more subtle way, and these guys really aren't doing that. They're being really noisy, putting a lot of people up in there. And the NSF team know where they are, they're just not going to really expose themselves too heavily to it. You see them, C's now looking up at the ceiling every so often at those vent exits, and he hears one of the vents break, and he's poised, ready for someone to push down towards him.
Yeah, like Halcyon and Pizza really need to start. It's too late. I was about to say they need to start using those vents to go and help Rakepop, but Rakepop's just died. Now they've just got 2 people kind of faffing around in the vents.
Yeah, this isn't good. They could easily stay there and tie this round out yet again. There's only
That might
20
be their
seconds left on the
plan.
clock. But it's not like Pizza completely failing to get inside that vent exit. Is he not crouching? Halcyon gets a frag. 2v1 now for the Jinrai team.
Oh, very confident.
They both dive out the vents just in time to get those 2 frags. That's a real shame there. I think the NSF were maybe too tentative to send someone into the vents. They had an assault who could easily have gone into the vent. And that second round does in fact go to Jinrai team in the nick of time. I'm surprised they won that round.
I
No,
think
Deep Frog. It's got the ZL
honestly,
long.
NSF were a bit more forward. I think they'd definitely be able to take Jinrai off guard. Jinrai are not being safe. They're not kind of just taking the piss, so to speak, a little bit.
Do you think the NSF team should send a support or an assault up into those vents? I think they should send someone, but it's
Maybe.
a matter of who. I think an assault would be a better idea. But
I don't feel like the vents are even that important at the moment, just because I don't feel like Jinrai are really using them that much. They're kind of just putting someone up there for the sake of it, and then they're
Right.
messing around a bit. Of course, it's always good to have the vent control, but they have really up there.
Hyde takes down Glub after jumping down. Support versus support. That smoke not helping Glub in the slightest. And Hyde's pretty lit now, considering, and so is Glub. I'm not sure who he's taking damage from, but is he gonna get this jump into the sky bridge? He does. He almost mucks up the first attempt, but now he gets through and picks up an MX for himself. He's now residing on the bottom floor. Close to Porpoise. He pushes Porpoise. Porpoise has no idea where he was. And now I have a bad feeling Deep Frog's going to go to work with that MX. He hears the cloak, but doesn't decide to face, instead takes some damage. Once again, it's down to Smile and Seize goes down. It's just Smile
SF
left.
are really not playing around that ghost at all, as it looks like Deep Frog's going straight towards it.
Smile's got
He's
69
We're at
HP.
the area.
He's working up full capacity and not anymore. He's been damaged. Will that grenade catch 2 off guard? He gets one. He gets shot in the back by Halcyon, who pushes him a bit too quickly for that grenade to compensate. And that's 3rd round and a tie now in the favor of Jinrai.
I'm booting my old broken record back up again to say that I think NSF should start playing around the ghost.
Perhaps with 2 recons on your team, though, there's a chance they could easily get pushed. But if they all hold all 5 of the ghosts together, that shouldn't be a problem. They can use it as bait at least to take out recons.
Right. You could see towards the end of the round,
And
Deep Frog was going towards it just to see if they were there. So if they were around there, if they had a lock on that area, they could have taken him out and started to move forward.
Deep Frog's taken that ZR long straight to the conference room. The most useful long sight line for it. Good for
He's
early
heading
frags.
towards that ghost.
Are they going to play it though?
You want
Heading
to meet
so
him, though?
slowly towards it.
Yeah.
That tiny shuffle, the tiny assault shuffle, pressing that walk key and that aim key at the same time, going at a snail's pace.
Halcyon's waiting for him. He's gonna walk straight into him.
Yeah.
He was a bit slow to react.
I'm pretty sure if
Halcyon that
it's
is.
not fully necessary for him to be activating the walk button as assault as well. If you aim with assault, that simply takes your footsteps sound away alone if you just aim. I don't think you need to activate the walk button as well. You're just going really slow for no particular reason, wasting those seconds.
Yeah.
these two recons in the vents. Deep Frog causing massive damage with the ZR long. Close range as well in the construction room. I just missed that, but that was pretty impressive on the kill feed. And he gets a third kill as well at the 3k with the ZR long. Close range in construction.
Disoriented in that construction area. They weren't kind of just sitting in weird positions.
I am really wanting to see more work done by Deep Frog with his ZR long.
Definitely watching this round.
It's a lot of fun using this weapon in this map. It's not traditionally a map where you'd think it would be useful, but I think it does pretty good work. I think it's because it's easy to withdraw from any position quickly
he's got an AA.
and end up on the other side of the map, but has he been given an AA by his teammate?
Yes.
Is he going to go for something huge this round?
So he's going pretty aggressively. He takes the slightly less aggressive route towards the stairs.
One frag. Can he get a second? Follow it up real fast. Find people. Hyde picks up a different frag, but Almighty
very
gets the trade.
He's gotten through.
Is he behind them? Looks like he is. Almighty choosing
recon. Recon that is absolutely rotten luck for NSF.
Yeah, and perhaps not a good idea to play recon. The AA essentially being the anti-recon gun.
Right, like it's
not particularly useful against other classes. It's not any more useful than an MX is against support and assault, but against a recon it's one-shot kill. And
it's a pretty insane draw of luck, to be honest, for that to have happened. One round Deep gets given an AA, they all go recon.
Yeah, and that's recon stack for Rise. I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, I feel like they were being a bit tongue-in-cheek with that, probably. Now they're full support, see.
Well, clearly
that AA is not going to be too good against that.
Yeah.
Unless they really slip up.
They're trying to figure out something that works. I can respect that. They're going with full stacks, seeing what works. Because clearly the first 3 rounds for them where they went with what they were comfortable with wasn't fully working for them. And that said, how long isn't going to do jack shit for Deep Frog against the supports, pulling in a slight damage of 18 or so hit points against the body.
Yeah.
And just short of 25 for the head. So it's a 5-shot kill to the head for the ZR long to kill a support. Arguably underpowered, but still nonetheless very useful in the right situations. And Hyde takes a tumble off the roof, I think, and just falls off. Deep Frog with that debt rush, but not finding anyone. Would have worked in an area where the NSF are bunched up, because they really are bunched up right now.
Just again, they're being very indecisive.
Popeye's throwing a smoke grenade at his feet against that recon. Recon, I'm not sure if that's a particularly good strat against recon. The recon player does get a solid 5 or 6 seconds, probably just short of that actually, to do something about that smoke grenade before it fully blooms. But it's worked out for him.
Shouldn't be walking out of that door by himself. I guess no one's there to punish him.
Deep Frog's found himself a primary of an MX once again from somewhere. Who knows where? He's not finding the rest of the team, but he does get one of them. Almost a team grenade there by Halcyon. The ghost. In the NSF's team's grasp, they can do something with it, but they're just gonna get close in. Deep Frog pushes with a really optimistic rush, but it don't work out. And they're not holding angles at the NSF team. They weren't holding angles, they were just stood inside the construction, not looking at the entrances. They were holding corners, not angles, so teammates could get shot from behind. lack of coordination there by the NSF team as they allowed themselves to get pushed from both angles without fully watching them.
And I don't even have a whole lot to say at this point, but it's...
Oh, that first round looked close, but now it's looking like a roll, which is a bit disappointing, but I kind of already assumed as much. And now NSF have gone with a mostly assault setup. Jinrai playing with a lot of variety though. They use all three classes to quite an extent, and his Pawpaw is really going to do that much damage to himself with that grenade. 70 points with the team damage as he completely scuppers the grenade into construction room. It's really just down to Jinrai to close this off as it's now 4v4. But the odds still stacked in favor regardless.
To see Deep Frog with the SRS. Very nice peek onto C's there. Using the smoke to his advantage.
Yeah, and he gets the frag. And it's 2 versus 3, but overall looks like a health advantage for NSF nonetheless. And now it's a 2 versus 2. They have to do something now to the NSF team. They have to push, they have to get frags, they maybe even have to use the ghost and wrestle it out of Deep Frog's hands. They know where Deep Frog is. Deep Frog's clearly showing his position to them. They just need to push him. He can't kill both of them with that bolt action rifle.
He's pretty confident, it seems. Because they're not really gonna...
Well, this round isn't over yet. They've got 50 seconds. They can do all sorts.
Good, but they've got to get in there. Can't wait around like this.
The SRS is frightening them. The same logic as when facing an AWP. You got that bolt action rifle. It'll be the same with any game, with any kind of powerful bolt action rifle. You can only fire one shot off at once. If you're gonna push them together.
These guys, yeah, they need to stick together, that's the problem.
And now there's 20 seconds left, they split up, and it looks like their tie is gonna go to the NSF team. They're not doing anything. And we've seen this before in other rounds. Almighty Sheep, just the most nervous player, doesn't dedicate himself to any kind of plays. I'm really starting to doubt the strength of GunJumping ScrubLords.
Sheep and Smile this round were both being way more cautious than they should have been. You saw them, they were both heading towards construction. They heard one shot from the SRS and they were just both like, nope. Didn't even want to have anything to do with it.
I am pretty dismayed by the disparity in skill when it comes to these two teams, which has been made painfully apparent in this game. When looking at the original roster for GunJumping ScrubLords, I wasn't fully familiar with them, but I saw Pawpaws, I saw Smile, and also Globe. I thought they weren't particularly a weak team, but they've really sort of shown otherwise, to be quite and brutally honest. Timeout rounds that they need to win.
In all fairness, look at their pings.
That is true. It's only the only European player, but they do get 2 frags now. Can C's get the trade? He does get the trade. It's 4 vs 2. It's not too late. They could stage a comeback. It doesn't look likely, but they could definitely at least try it. It's just Pizza and Halcyon in the vents now. Are they finally going to send a player up there? Or is Halcyon going to push and kill him regardless? He doesn't actually get the frag, but it's just Pizza left now with the AA. And he could time out this round if he wants to, but he's going to go for the frags. He gets the double kill at the offices. And Pawpaws and C's are the only 2 left. They've been caught off guard by this.
Kind of just playing like it's a pub. Like, people on NSF are just individually looking out for themselves, not looking out for each other at all.
Yeah.
2 people just stood right next to Pawpaws and died. He was too busy standing with his back to a wall, not wanting to get killed himself.
And C's dedicating himself to the
he's
angle.
walking off in the wrong direction, and now he's Getting in a corner.
Any sort of lack of movement skill is really showing itself in this team as well. You have any other really strong assault player at this moment in time, they'll be applying all the same techniques a recon player would be doing. They'll be sprinting, hopping, checking corners while in the air, unafraid of the sound their footsteps are making because they have the larger health pool and the better weapons and the better vision mode even.
Yeah, you
But
can definitely get a big edge of the movement, but I think even if you're just playing traditionally and just running around, I still think it's just such a matter of people being a bit more assertive with the angles they take, and
It's definitely,
they've got to be a bit more selfless.
I think I've barely even seen an NSF player step foot in the vents this game so far.
Not sure they did have anyone in the vents at all, did they?